Hi there, I'm Councillor Glen, and this morning is Saturday, April the 20th, and this morning I'm at the Connection Stormwater Pond. I bet not many of you have visited this stormwater pond. It is in the Connections neighborhood, which is the northernmost residential neighborhood in Stittsville, and it's the neighborhood that's adjacent to that newish roundabout on Palladium between Canadian Tire Centre and Tanger. So to get here, you would take the roundabout, get off at Brae Crescent or Brae Street, and then turn onto Unity, which will take you here to the pathway where you can check out the stormwater pond. Now, I don't see a lot of birds this morning, but I certainly hear a lot of birds, and I can hear the Queensway, which is just a little bit north of here, and I can see Canadian Tire Centre over on the other side of the camera. So we are really north here in Stittsville, and it's a nice place to come and check out. If you're looking for a different spot, maybe to come for a walk or walk your dog, this could be it. I want to start this morning by wishing everyone a very happy National Volunteer Week. It's a week-long celebration of people who help out in our community with a local organization or a local project. So thank you to all the volunteers here in Stittsville. And I'll take this opportunity to remind you that our nomination period for the Stittsville Volunteer Awards closes on Friday. So you've got one more week to get your nominations in. The awards themselves happen at the end of May. We have 6 categories of awards. So if you know somebody who does some great work as a volunteer in our community, please do take some time to nominate them. And you can find all the information in the nomination form on my website at glengower.ca/volunteer. Now, yesterday morning, I got to attend the Western Ottawa Community Resource Centre Volunteer Appreciation Breakfast. It was great to be there. About 60 volunteers there. Western Ottawa has about 140 volunteers who help deliver the programs across a wide swath of Western Ottawa, including Canada, Stittsville, West Carleton, Bells Corners, and a little bit around and beyond as well. And then yesterday afternoon, I got to visit Hollier House, which Western Ottawa is also involved in. So this is a new affordable housing building, about I think 34, 35 apartments in Bells Corners, right next to Christchurch Bells Corners Anglican Church, and it's the site of the former church rectory where the priest would have lived. And they've now built an affordable housing building with some supportive housing there. On the bottom floor, Western Ottawa has a community resource center, as well as a commercial kitchen where they're doing all their food for Meals on Wheels. And there's also space for the FamSec food cupboard, which is a local food cupboard serving families in Bells Corners. So it's a great project. It's been many years in the making and not without some difficulties due to the pandemic, but it's great to see that finally open, and there'll be some families and individuals moving in very, very soon. So that's great, and congratulations to everyone involved there. More, I guess, on the topic of volunteers. I mentioned last week our new Stittsville Community Microgrant program. So it is underway. Applications, it's open for applications, and in just a week we have had a few applications, which is great. So if you have an idea to bring people together in the community, either through an event or a project, you could be eligible for a microgrant from my office of up to $200, and this is for new events and activities and projects in the community. Just trying to foster some more community connections and activities here in Stittsville. So check out my website for more information there. A reminder also to sign up for Cleaning the Capital at ottawa.ca/clean. You can also go to that site to see a map of where there are cleanups planned and the schedule for those. I know there's a whole bunch today and tomorrow happening in the Stittsville community, so thank you so much to everyone who's taking part. And remember, snap a photo and email it to me. We're trying to collect some great photos from neighborhood cleanups. And on parks and cleanups, if you live near Lee Boltwood Park, which is in the Abbotsville Crossing neighborhood, that's the park at Abbott and Malahat, we're looking for some volunteers to help maintain the gardens there. The Stittsville Goulburn Horticultural Society are organizing the garden maintenance. They're hoping to find some people who live near the park who can take on some of the organizing and work duties there. So if you're interested, contact the Stittsville Goulburn Horticultural Society or contact me and I'll put you in touch with them. So thank you. Okay, looking back over the week that was, there's lots going on this week. On last Sunday, I just wanted to mention I was able to attend the OC Transpo Transecure Safety Awards and the Safe Driving Awards. So Transecure honored 12 drivers who each won a monthly recognition for going above and beyond to ensure the safety of bus riders or people in the community. They're kind of like a community watch or a neighborhood watch on wheels, right? The bus operators are out at any time of the day, and if they see someone in distress or who needs help, they do help. So we congratulated 12 operators, including Kirk, who had a special recognition. He helped with some first aid, did the Heimlich maneuver on a young child who was choking. So, quite likely could have saved that child's life. So good stuff. And the Safe Driving Awards recognize drivers with a streak of no accidents. And the top recipient was a bus driver who has a 45-year safe driving record. So absolutely incredible. On Monday evening, I was at our Board of Health meeting. I'm on the Board of Health. All sorts of good reminders and updates there. One that I wanted to highlight is that the latest round of COVID vaccines are available. And Ottawa Public Health is reminding folks if you're in one of the vulnerable categories, like if you're a senior ages 65 or older, if you have any kind of immunocompromised situation, or Indigenous people are eligible for this vaccine, or recommended that you get that. And just overall, check to make sure you're up to date and protect yourself from being knocked out by COVID. You can go to the ottawapublichealth.ca website for more information. On Wednesday, we had our City Council meeting, and we approved something that I'm really excited about. It's called the Affordable Housing CIP, but what it is essentially is a grant to builders who are building apartments. If at least 15% of the units in their apartment building are affordable, they can be eligible for a grant of $6,000 to $8,000 per year per apartment. So it's a way to offset some of their costs so they can offer a lower rent to tenants. There's a lot they have to do to qualify to make sure that it's all accountable and so on, but I think it's going to be a really popular incentive, and it's a way that we can more quickly achieve apartments that people can actually afford. So that's good. This week at City Hall also, we published the first report, or the first iteration, I guess, of the draft new zoning bylaw. This is a massive project in this term of council to update our zoning across the city to match our new official plan. So there is a draft report. We're going to be tabling that at a special committee meeting a week from Monday, and then later on in May there'll be some detailed maps neighborhood by neighborhood. So the information isn't all there yet, but you can definitely see the broad strokes of what staff are trying to accomplish and the policy and the wording that's going to execute that zoning bylaw. So you can go to my website at glengower.ca, and I posted a very short summary along with links to the documents. So if you're really interested in planning in our community, please do check that out. Now, on planning, a heads up if you've been following the 6310 Hazeldean Road development, the owners, Devmont, have resubmitted kind of another variation, another iteration of their plan. So again, you can go to my website, glengower.ca/development. We've posted a summary of what's changed, plus a link to the documentation. It's a small change. They've brought down the height of the 25-story building. It's going down to 21 stories. They're redistributing some of those units to the middle building, I guess is the best way to describe it. They've made some other changes as well to address some of the concerns that have come up from the city planners and through public feedback as well. One thing I wanted to mention, I was going to mention this last week, I forgot. Just on the provincial side, we continue to have a lot of changes to provincial and federal policy when it comes to housing. And I wanted to mention one thing, and maybe I'll post about it or do a video about it later. The province has a new bill out. I think it's Bill 185, came out a week and a half ago. It's called the Cutting Red Tape to Build More Homes Act. What a name. One of them in there, I know people have been asking about this, is appeal rights. Your ability to appeal a council decision on a development to the Ontario Land Tribunal, residents and community associations under this bill would no longer be able to do that. So heads up about that. Lots going on this week, I told you. Brae Street. We did a meeting about traffic calming there about 3 or 4 weeks ago. We've posted a summary and next steps on my website. So if you live on Brae, that's the traffic calming between Donegal and Snowberry. So there's a summary on my website. Also on my website, an update about spring tree planting. They're going to be starting soon with all the trees for trusts and reforestation in parks and green spaces. There's a lot of trees being planted this spring. I'm really happy to see that. And Trees for Trust, by the way, you can request a free tree for your front yard. The city will come out and plant it. Your job is to water it to make sure it stays healthy. But you can go to call 311 or go to the city's website and search Trees and Trust for more information. And coming up on May 2nd, there's a Carp River floodplain open house hosted by Mississippi Valley Conservation Authority. They've updated floodplain mapping along the Carp River in our area, so if you're interested, please check that out. Details, as always, on my website. Some events today and upcoming. There is a repair cafe at City Hall. If you've got a small electronic device that you need repair, there are some hobbyists and experts at City Hall today to help you do that rather than throwing it in the garbage. At Johnny LaRue Arena here in Stittsville in the upstairs community hall, there's a craft and vendor market today. Later on this morning, I'm going to be heading over to Village Cafe in Unity Square at Iber and Hazeldean. They are celebrating their first anniversary, so happy anniversary, Village Cafe. Jane's Walk. I'm going to be hosting a Jane's Walk on Stittsville Main Street on May 4th. It's a walking tour, a history tour, a conversation. We'll follow that up with a round table afterwards, one of the local coffee shops. Registration will open this week, so I think April 24th. So stay tuned. I'll post that online when it does. A reminder, if you own a cat, if you can, please keep it inside. Cats are pretty deadly to birds this time of year, and it does have a big impact on the local ecosystem. So keep your cats inside. And finally, a very happy Passover, which begins on Monday, I believe, to everyone in our Jewish community here in Stittsville who is celebrating. That's it for me. Thank you for sticking with me. This is a long update today. I hope you have a great weekend. Encourage you to get out and explore maybe a stormwater pond near you, including the one here at Connections. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.